Casting. Okay, so explaining. So the Rama and Lakshmana, Visvamitra, who's a great sage, he's taking Rama and Lakshmana after they have completed. He had a job. He gave them a job to get rid of the Rakshasas who were disturbing his puja. And now, just one. Okay, so after their project is done, like their job is done, they have got rid of the people who were disturbing the yajna. Now Vishwamitra has finished his yajna that he was doing, and then now he wants to take the two princes, Rama and Lakshmana, along with him to go and show him this magical thing called Shiva Dhanush. Dhanush means it is a bow. Okay, it's a bow that belongs to Lord Shiva, which was gifted to the ancestors of the king of this country called Mithila. Okay, the king of the country, his name is called Janaka, and Janaka owns this Shiva Dhanush. Now, what is special about the Shiva Dhanush is that nobody can string it, nobody can lift it also. So they carry the bow and arrow on their shoulder, right? But what is special about Shivadhanush is until now, no strong man, no warrior, no king, no prince could actually take it and carry it and make it stand and string it. So it is something really unique. And so Vishwamitra wants to show Rama and Lakshmana that bow, okay, Shiva's bow called Shivadhanush, which is proudly protected in Janaka's palace. He's got it in his palace in this country called Mithila. So they've been walking across the river Ganga. They came past the city called Vishala. Now they have come to the northern part of Ganga. They came to the city of Vishala. Now they walked further and they've come to this beautiful country called Mithila. Now, once they came to the country, they visited the king Janaka and they were received well. And Janaka is so happy to see someone so great as Vishwamitra coming to his palace. And at the time they are arriving, there is some big arrangements being made for some big, huge yajna that's happening. Yajna means it's like a puja, like a prayer. Okay, they are preparing for some extensive prayer. That's what's happening. And they also meet King Janaka's preceptor, means the royal guru. His name is Sadananda. Okay, now Sadananda and King Janaka, everyone, they all come and receive Vishwamitra along with Rama and Lakshmana, and they're very pleased to have them in their court, and they are having a conversation. So while they were talking, Sadananda also so happy, he wants to tell Rama and Lakshmana about Vishwamitra. Okay, few chapters earlier, we learned a little bit about Vishwamitra's father and sister and all that. Sister who's in the form of a river now, where he spends most of his time. We read all that. Now, Sadananda is telling more about Vishwamitra to Rama and Lakshmana. Okay. By the way, Sadananda is the son of sage Gautama and this lady by name Ahalya. We also read the story of Ahalya yesterday. Go and catch up on those videos. We won't go back into that. It's a nice story. Okay. So now let's see what Sadananda is saying. Chapter 19, Vishwamitra. Pururavas, the ancestor of the lunar race. Lunar means moon, yeah, the moon race. So they call the kings, saying some kings belong to the solar race. They come from the sun. They are descendants of the sun and descendants of the moon. They explain the kings like that. Okay, the lineage of the kings like that. So he's talking about someone by name Pururavas, the ancestor of the lunar race, means moon's race. So Pururavas had 6 sons, the eldest of whom was Ayu. The eldest name was Ayu. His descendants were Nahusha, his son Yayati, And after Yayati, Puru, and later kings who were more famed as Pauravas. So he's talking about the entire lineage of Pururavas. His son Ayudh, son Nahusha, his son Yayati, and after Yayati, Puru, and like they're talking about the entire lineage. And the entire lineage were called Pauravas. Okay. Vijaya was the name of the youngest son of Pururavas. Vijaya was the father of a son by name Bhima. Bhima's son was Kanchana and his son was Jahanu, who later swallowed the river Ganga when she rushed in tumult following the king Bhagirath. So again, he's talking about the further lineages. Okay, there was a son by name in the Paurava lineage, Vijaya, and Vijaya's son was Bhima, and Bhima's son was Kanchana. And look at the entire names of everyone they're saying. And his son was Jahanu, who later swallowed. There's a story of him swallowing river Ganga when she rushed in tumult following King Bhagirath. We had that story about how Ganga came from the heaven to the earth in, I think, 2-3 days back in the story of Ganga. You'll be able to connect it. Okay. When Ganga came down from heaven to earth, she came down in tumult, and how Lord Mahadeva caught her uh, uh, in his hair, and then go back and listen to the story. Now he's talking about one of those descendants who swallowed river Ganga. So Jahanu's son was Puru, and his son was Balaka. His son was Ajaka. Ajaka had a son by name Kusha, who had 4 sons, the youngest of whom was Kushanaba. Gadi was the son of Kushanaba. This Vishwamitra is a son of Gadi. So, oh my God. So Sadananda is able to see again, he's a Rishi Muni, right? So we've heard in the story Ramayana so far, whenever they are mentioning about any saint, they are saying, they're also indicating the ability to see their past, present, and future. So he's able to go back and explain the entire lineage of Vishwamitra. And now he says Vishwamitra is the son of Gadi. He was known in those days as Kaushika. So Vishwamitra, before he became a great saint, he was a king by name Kaushika, and he was a famous king. He ruled his subjects well, and he was reputed to be a very good king. Chapter 20. Vashishta hosts the king. So once the king had gone to the forest, this is continuing story of Vishwamitra, okay? So he was a king by name Kaushika, and once he had gone to the forest with a large army. He was visiting several places. He visited cities which were ruled by him, and in the course of his journey, he saw many beautiful rivers, hills, ashramas nestling at their sides. One such ashrama was that of Vashishta, the son of Brahma. From a distance, Kaushika could see the flowering trees and shrubs, and he could see the orchards, and there was a small stream flowing slowly past the ashrama. Several deer and other tame animals could be seen, and he was very surprised to see siddhas and charanas as well as gandharvas and kinnaras. The place was resounding with the music made by the birds, which had nests on the trees, and there was peace reigning in the ashrama. Just 1 second.
Namadanje, you're on mute.
Yeah, I just muted for a second. So, I want to tell you guys, in Himalayas, you can go and visit this place called Vashishta Guha. I've already been there 2 times. It's a beautiful place where actually sage Vashishta lived, and even to this day, it is a place when you go to visit Rishikesh, you can actually go and see Vashishta Guha, which we are reading right now about. Okay. So the place was resounding with the music made by the birds which had nests on the trees, and there was peace reigning in the ashrama and in the forest which surrounded the ashrama. On going nearer, the king saw several rishis performing tapas, and there were many who were bent on meditation, who seemed to be lost to the world. It seemed to him that Brahma Loka, of which he had heard of, was not in the heavens but here on earth where Vashishta was. It is a rule among Kshatriyas that they should not pass the ashrama of a rishi without paying respect to him, and in return, the rishi has to welcome him and honor him, since a king is said to be Narayana himself. So Kaushika entered the ashrama of Vashishta and prostrated before the great man. The rishi was very pleased with him and welcomed him with great excitement. He sent for a seat noble enough to befit a king, and he made the king sit on it. He offered fruits and water. Kaushika received all these with humility, becoming a great king, and they spoke to each other about general things. Vashishta asked the conventional questions which should be asked. He said, I hope your subjects are happy under your rule, which is sure to be righteous. I hope your servants are well behaved and obedient. All your enemies are subdued. Is your army large and powerful? Is your treasury full? Are your children well, happy, and obedient? So he's asking all these questions. Kaushika answered them all in the affirmative, means saying yes. Each had great respect for other, and they spent a long time talking about many things. After a long time had passed, Vashishta said, I want you to accept my hospitality. It is a rare and great honor that you have visited our ashrama with your army. I want to entertain you. You are a righteous king and a good man. I'm pleased with you. You are to be honored and give me the pleasure of doing so. Kaushika was touched by the words of the rishi and spoke very humbly and said, Your words full of affection have done more than a feast can do. You've already given us fruits and milk. The sight of you has made us pure for birth after birth. What need is there for a feast? You're a person who should be honored as a god, and it is not right that you should say, I deserve to be honored. I will soon be taking leave of you to continue my journey. Okay, there's more, but I want to stop here. It's 8:26. I want to ask some questions to make sure that we remember what we read today. Okay, so what was Vishwamitra's name before he became Vishwamitra? Someone put your hand up or I'll call the name. No one? Do you want me to say? Okay. So his name was Kaushika. Okay. I told a few names today, right? His entire lineage. So it's okay. We don't have to remember all of that. You just need to know that his name was Kaushika and he was a righteous king before he became a great saint. Okay. My next question. Whose ashrama did Kaushika visit? Sage? Yes. Unmute and tell me.
Vashishta.
Vashishta. Okay.
Wait,
So
I have a question.
can you visit that Vashishta Guha now?
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah. I just answer this question, then I'll come to you. Can you visit Vashishta Guha these days?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Do you remember Laya Surya? You've been
I
there.
think so. On top, right?
Yeah. So next time when you guys are going to India, keep that on the list. Okay. My next question. Yeah, before that, Laya, what was your question?
My question was, how did Vashishta get to talk to Kaushika? Wait, when they say they talk to each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your question?
I didn't understand because they're the same. Aren't they the same person?
Vishwamitra is Kaushika.
Oh, Visvamitra.
I know lots of names, lots of stories. That's why it's important for us to have this quick revision, okay, at the end of the day. So at least we are able to remember some of the details. Okay, so what kind of questions did Vashishta ask King Kaushika? Arna?
I remember, but I don't know what they call it. It's a bit confusing.
Just give me examples of some questions he asked.
But can you
So the sage received the king and he asked him a few questions. Like the same thing when Vishwamitra went to Janaka's court also, Janaka is asking him a few questions. Before that, when he went to, where is they went? They went to another city by name, another city they visited, trying to remember. First when he visited Dashrata. So it's conventional questions like he was asking, are your subjects happy? Are your, do you have,
yeah, like he was
I-
asking questions about like how he was doing and like what he was doing with his kingdom.
Yes, yes. So if his treasury is full, if his children and family are well, if his army is large and powerful, if his servants are obedient and well behaved, if his subjects are happy. Okay. So, okay, I think we will continue tomorrow. I have, can't think of any other questions today. Okay, do you guys have something to share about today's what you've read? What was interesting about what we read today? Riya? It can be a question, it can be something that you found interesting. Arna, Adia?
Like I found interesting, like when they went to the town. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mithila?
Yeah, Nutella.
Yes.
Like when they went there, like I want to like learn more about what they did more there and what they like. Yeah.
Watch yesterday's video, okay? I've sent it in the group. Ask mom and you can read, you can listen to those 2 days. The Shiva Dhanush part, that was something unusual, right? The bow that
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Laya or Surya, who's that?
Laya,
Yes.
I found interesting like all the word choice
Mm.
and how they described like what was happening, like the birds on the trees, like that.
Yeah.
What I found interesting was how Vishwamitra had so many names and how like Buddha he like left to become a sage.
Mm. Vishwamitra had only one name, Kaushika. He was called Kaushika. When he became a saint, he is Vishwamitra. But all the names that Sadananda was saying was his father and his father and his father and his father. Like his entire lineage is
And
all
also how the sages can see past, present, and future.
how he could tell such a long list of, lineages, right?
Yeah.
They know their entire family history. That was very, very interesting. So tomorrow we'll continue from page 66. Let's say our closing prayer. Sit straight and close your eyes. Om. 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
bye.
Nancy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye.